he just took off. Oh, and now they're sitting in the tree. Happy Monday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. It is Monday, September 21st. And for Lizzie, who watches me the next day, for you, it is Tuesday, September 22nd. I thought that was really funny. She left me a comment and she said, I always watch you the next day. And when you say the date, I say the date out loud to myself, the actual date, because, you know, some of us are losing track of our days. Oh, my battery light's going already. Hang on a second. Let me switch it out. Be right back. There we go. Fresh battery. I use my camera so much, you know, for personal reasons as well as chatting with you, that I never keep track of how long the battery's been in there and probably needs to be changed. So I figure I've got a fair bit of time left on fresh battery so I can chat with you. What a weekend. What a weekend. I released the Holiday Evertote 2020 collection on Friday, and it sold out in about 17 hours, which was rather astonishing because I had a fair number available, so that was really quite a little bit of an overwhelming surprise. And thank you to everyone who purchased a kit this weekend. Now, that being said, I had a lot of people emailing me saying, they're sold out already, I missed it, I didn't get one, and are you going to put out any more, and can I pre-order? And a lot, like on all different avenues of social media. So yes, I am putting out a few more next Sunday. They're going to be available in the shop on Sunday. Next Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I did last week's batch on a Friday, later in the day. This one will be on a Sunday, a little bit earlier in the day. Hopefully give a few people another chance. I also will be bringing in, I chatted with Krista about bringing in some extra charts as well. So I will have I will have an extra 45 copies of the chart alone. So if you would like to join in stitching Miss Margaret Ann Rollo along with me and some other stitchers, then I will have that available as a separate. If you don't want the whole kit or the bag or anything like that, I'll have just the pattern available next Sunday, same time. So again, thank you to everyone who messaged me. I apologize that I wasn't really able to take pre-orders on the next batch that's coming out. I hope you can understand it was all a little overwhelming how many people were interested in actually once they sold out in getting a kit. And it is just me, it's just me doing, well, everything from point A to Z is me. So I have a fair bit to do. So the slightly smaller numbers that I put out on Sunday, I'm asking that if you can allow me an extra 2 weeks past the October date for the initial batch, to give me an extra 2 weeks to complete the extra amount of work needed to complete those kits. So they should be out by the end of the first week of November, approximately, which still should allow time for them to be delivered in time for the holiday season, except for overseas international shipments. The United States shouldn't be a problem. Canada shouldn't be a problem. But, you know, UK, Australia, I can't make guarantees that it will get there in time just because of the absolute slowdown with the postal system. But I will do my very, very best for myself to be as timely as possible to get them out in the post to you so that hopefully they'll get there in time. Okay, so enough about that. Once again, I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so very much. It was It was a really crazy weekend. Really, really crazy, crazy fun. Crazy fun. Now, personal crafting. I did, are you ready? Because I finished something. I have an FO. Not just an FO, but an FFO. In fact, I have 2 FFOs because I finished my Christmas socks. Ta-da! I have a pair. I have a pair of Christmas socks. I am so pleased. All I had left to do was that toe. So on Saturday, I thought, that's it. I really want to finish something today. So my sock was the closest thing to being done. So I thought, that's it. Let's focus on the sock and get it done. And I did, and now I have a pair. So details, this is yarn by the Cozy Knitter, who is a Canadian dyer, indie dyer based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And this was a Christmas striped set that she put out a few years back. And I actually purchased this from my friend Dawn when she destashed it from her stash, and I was glad she did because I love them. I absolutely love them. And look, they are perfectly matched. Perfectly matched. Identical twins. And the sock recipe that I use is a very basic vanilla sock pattern by my, written up by my friend Louise Patterson of Wildflower Wool. And it's the sock pattern that she wrote to go along in conjunction with the sock knitting tutorials that are on the Learn to Knit playlist that's on this channel. So it's my favorite sock recipe. I use it all the time. So it's, I know I do a slightly longer heel flap because I like a slightly longer gusset because I have a very high arch and I find that helps the sock fit my foot better. So, yay, I finished it. I finished my sock. I finished something. I think that deserves a ticker tape parade. So yes, finished socks. Then I worked on my Martin Luther King sampler. And I did a fair bit. I did a fair bit. These colors are so beautiful, and I just love the sentiment, and I know I'm going to be able to finish this no problem before the end of September. And then I really don't want it to sit. I want to immediately turn it into a bag. If I can squeeze in the time for some personal sewing, then I'll turn it into a drawstring bag once it's done. So I'm stitching this on. It's a piece of 40 count Silkweaver fabric. I just want to make sure that's focused. I think it is. There we go. It is a sunny day out today, but it's quite late in the afternoon. It's already 4:30. I can't record anymore until after Nicholas is done school and John is done work. And then it's kind of my time to sit down with my coffee and have a chat with you, because then it's a bit quieter and I don't have to worry about being quiet for Nicholas's school in case he can hear me talking out there. So I will probably be, from now on, at least during the week, putting these videos out just a little bit later in the day than I normally would. But it's nice to sit down and chat. So this is a 40 count Silkweaver remnant that I was given last summer at the New Jersey Flosstube retreat, along with a sort of grab bag of other fabrics to try. And they really do, I mean, they have beautiful fabric. It's the color in it is beautiful. And I saved the tag, but I don't have, it's in my project bag out in the other room. So I'll try to edit in the details of the colorway. I think it's mocha. I think it's just called mocha, 40 count. And I'm using Stash floss. I know the wine magenta color is Bandana from Classic Colourworks, And I know that the lighter green is the Dandenong by Dinky Dyes. But the dark brown and the dark green, I think they're both Gentle Arts, but I can't remember the exact name. So again, I will look them up and I will put I'll put all of the details in the drop down box below. But it's such a pleasant, it's a really enjoyable stitch. I'm really enjoying it. So I worked on this last night. Actually, that leads me to what I wanted to tell you about today. I worked on this last night late. You guys are I'm sure you're gonna relate to this. One of my favorite things to do is either wake up early before anyone else is awake or stay up late past everyone going to bed, and the house is quiet and everybody's gone to sleep, and I can put my headphones on and I can listen to a podcast and just stitch or knit, or just have a cup of coffee and just some quiet time that's just all for me. It's my favorite. And so You've all heard my internet woes, in that we have to be very careful with our data usage because we no longer have Wi-Fi capabilities. So we are using the data from our phones, which can get expensive. However, we're dealing with it we're only here probably until the end of October. And so it's not that much longer, as long as we keep an eye on it. But Pam's Crafty Corner out in Newfoundland, my girl Pam has put out a brand new series on her YouTube channel. And let me make sure that I get the name right. Okay, so Pam's Crafty Corner, and I'm sure that most of you know Pam already, because she's been recording Flosstube videos for at least 4 years, and I know that she was one of the first YouTubers that I started watching when I started watching Flosstube. And Pam is just, she's comforting to listen to, because I love her East Coast accent, and it's a little bit like, it really is visiting with a friend when you visit Pam. Pam has a new series out on her channel, and it's called Coffee, Crime, and Crafts. And she's just put out the first episode. Now, I know that I'm not the only one who is a true crime fan. And I know that I'm not probably as big of a fan as lots of other people are who listen to all the podcasts and watch all of the shows. But I do enjoy some true crime, and there are a few podcasts that I listen to. There's the Canadian one, a very good Canadian one put out by CBC. It's called Someone Knows Something. So if you're looking for a true crime podcast, that one in particular is very, very good. Whoops. And I had to go answer the phone. Sorry. What was I saying? Right, the CBC podcast, Someone Knows Something. I do enjoy that one. However, Pam's Crafty Corner, I'll leave a link to her channel in the drop-down box below. Her new series, Coffee, Crime, and Crafts. She's just come out with the first episode based on a disappearance that happened of a girl named Dana Bradley. And Dana was from St. John's, Newfoundland. So hearing Pam talk about sort of the area where she's from, and getting to know East Coast Canada a little bit better through her descriptions. And she was knitting her Jessica Fletcher sweater while she was talking, and it was, so I couldn't hold out. I told Pam that I was going to splurge and use some data so that I could listen to her very first episode of the Coffee, Crime, and Crafts, because it was just what I needed last night. So I stayed up extra late and I mostly listened, because that's the thing that I love about this. Pam is treating it kind of like a Stitch with Me, where she's talking while she's crafting, but she's inserted some extra photos and some maps and some extra sort of interesting tidbits about the case while she's talking about it. So it's kind of like a souped up audio podcast, because it feels also like you're stitching with a friend, which is, it's kind of fun. let's face it, it's not kind of, it is fun. It is totally fun. So, and also just a shout out for Pam. Pam has also set up a Buy Me a Coffee account. So if you watch the show and you enjoy it and you feel like supporting our channel, you can, what Buy Me a Coffee is, and I have an account set up as well. If you like hanging out and you like the content, you know, a lot of work goes into these channels and doing these videos, and so it's just sort of a way to put a proverbial tip in the cookie jar, basically, is this Buy Me a Coffee. And so I haven't done it yet, but I will be treating Pam to a couple of coffees later this afternoon once I get back on my laptop, because that was really, it was really an enjoyable hour spent with Pam last night. It was a lot of fun, and I thought that maybe you guys would like to hear about it too. So enjoy. Let me know if you check it out, and let me know if you enjoy it. So I worked on this last night while I was listening to Pam. And then the only other thing that I worked on this weekend, because I'd finished my Christmas sock. I am right into sock knitting right now, if you couldn't tell. So I got right back to my Leo and Roxy sock. And I think I put another inch into the length of the leg. I only have 1 inch left to go before I can put in the heel. Now, this is, let me show you the ball band. So Leo and Roxy, they are, Carrie and Jolynn are the dyers behind Leo and Roxy, and they own the Little Red Mitten, which is a beautiful yarn shop in St. Thomas, Ontario, and that's where they dye their yarn. So they are able to have the in-house yarn dyer of the Little Red Mitten. But their yarn is beautiful, and last year I purchased for a birthday present for myself, I joined their Sock of the Month club. And this yarn, of course, it came in a skein with a mini for heels and toes, and so it's just called August 2019 Sock Club, but we've been calling it my Fruity Pebble sock. And it came with this gray mini. I wasn't going to use the gray mini. I was just going to knit the entire sock with the Fruity Pebble yarn. But as I get closer and closer to the heel, I'm thinking I want to add in the gray. Just to give the eye, just to break up that really rich color into, you know, something, a bit of relief with the heel and the toe. I think the lighting is not great for you to see the colors today, but I think you get the idea. It's a very vibrant sock. And I think the gray is actually a really good idea for the heels and toes. So I think I'm going to add it in. I have another inch left of knitting to go before I have to make the final decision. And it's just yarn. I can rip it out if I don't like it. And then I can, you know, just do the heel with the colorful yarn if I don't like it. It's just knitting. I can just take it out. So that's what I did. That's what I worked on. And a lot of cutting. A lot of cutting bat, a lot of cutting liner, a lot of counting, triple counting, triple checking my numbers, preparing for, you see, so the first batch of kits sets collection that I put out, I wanted to be a bit flexible with my numbers, because what I can do is I can watch what's selling and watch what sizes people are preferring, and then I can shift the numbers a little bit. If the fabric isn't cut yet, I've got some wiggle room. So what happened, and in fact it did actually happen that way, a lot of people really loved the navy large size, and that started selling a lot faster than the medium size. So I was able to shift some of the numbers from the medium into the large size, so that if people would prefer the large, it would still be there. And so, you know, it was nice to have that little bit of flexibility. But for the second update next Sunday, I have actually had to cut everything so that I am absolutely 100% sure of what I have available, and and that will be it. I don't have any more fabric. I have cut all that I have, and I'm not able to get any more from my wholesaler. It's now sold out from them, and so I have cut what I have. I have cut a lot of fabric. Today I cut all the lining, and when I say a lot, that I cut 40 meters of lining today. 40 meters. That's a lot of lining. A lot of lining. And tomorrow, my big job tomorrow is to cut batting. So, and I'm definitely going to need another roll of batting from home, because I'm already halfway through my roll of batting that I started with at the beginning of my summer here. So I'm going to need another roll, but that's okay. And that's it. That's it. I think that's a lot, isn't it? It's nice to be back. It is nice to be back with a longer episode today. And I have a viewer whip parade already edited in for today, ready to share with you. So the whips that I'm sharing are from emails that were sent to me at the beginning of September. So like September 1st, and it is now the 21st. So I'm about 20 days behind with sharing the whip parade. However, I have a fair number to share, but if you'd like to start sending me emails again, sharing your whip, feel free. It might take me a week or so to get to it. So if you'd rather wait and have it so that it's up to date, that's fine too. But please do share it with me. I really do enjoy editing those in for the end of the video. It's a really nice way to just share together what everybody's working on while we visit together. And I think that's it. My coffee is now lukewarm, so I think I'm going to go and boil the kettle up again and maybe sit and knit. I have been working a little bit on Sarah's Afghan. Not enough to share, because let's face it, it's not going to look any different if I knit 10 rows versus 1 row. So I feel a bit silly showing you, look, I knit a row on Sarah's Afghan, and you're going to be rolling your eyes to high heaven, because yeah, big deal, Caroline, 1 row, you know, you've got a few to go. And it's true, I do have a few to go. So I've really been trying to be consistently knitting a row every other day, every other day. I just don't have enough time to do everything that I really want to do. There's just, it's all so good, and there's so much of it. And I mean, these project bags back here, I'm itching to get into them, and anyway, all in good time. All in good time. So Nicholas, it was Monday, so he's back in school this week, and they're finally getting into the nuts and bolts of work. So he did some math today, and some proper literature discussion and class. Last week was very much, I mean, it was only 3 days last week, and it was very much learning the platform together, how to hand things in, how to be socially responsible in a chat room setting when you've got 35 kids in the class and one teacher who's trying to I'm sure you can imagine. His teacher is wonderful. I mean, she really is. She really is patient and kind, and exactly the kind of teacher you hope your child's going to have for a school year. So touch wood, we are off to a flying start. So that has been really nice. That's been really, really nice. Yeah, you know, we're still here. Oh, I will have put video in. I still have to edit in the video at the beginning, but I'm thinking about it now because I'm thinking about what I still have left to do to get this video up so that I can visit with you. You will have seen it already, but the rainbow on Saturday morning, it was a double rainbow. I kid you not, you could see the entire rainbow and reflected on the water. It was reflected on the water and it went all the way, like I could see one end on my neighbor's cottage, and then I could see all the way around to the other end. It was astonishingly beautiful, and it lasted for a good 10 minutes. I mean, it was really incredible. And then we saw the bald eagles. So we saw the bald eagles yesterday in the same area that I took the video this morning. And again, doing the same thing, they were feeding yesterday. And then again this morning when I saw them, they were catching fish and feeding. I wish it was a little closer. I wish that I could see them just a little bit better with my camera, because with the binoculars I can see them quite well. But I don't have, I mean, this camera I can't zoom in close enough that I can get an actually really clear picture of them. But wow, what an astonishing thing. They are so massive, these birds. You know, when they fly and they soar and they go higher and higher and higher, and you see them, you know, fly up to the clouds, and they're so big that you can see them for ages. You can see them flying. They're just absolutely phenomenal birds, just amazing. That has been a real pleasure. In the last few years, they've really come back to the area. I would say before 2015, they were a very rare sight. But starting from 2014, 2015 onwards, we see them every summer. And to see them 2 days in a row, you know, so clearly landed and feeding is incredible, just incredible. So, wow, amazing. Okay, so that's it for me. My break is over. I need to get this video going so that I can have it uploading while I finish just a little bit more work. We're having leftovers for dinner tonight, which is always such a treat. Monday night is, you know, fend for yourself. Let's eat the leftovers out of the fridge and use up what we have, because John's dad will probably go to town tomorrow or Wednesday, and then if there's anything that we need, like milk or supplies, milk is very important, then he'll pick that up, and John might go in later this week. John is probably headed back to London. Sarah is, obviously Sarah's there, and he has a few things to take care of at home with Sarah, so I'm not sure when he's headed home to be with her, but at some point. So I don't know. We take each day as it comes. So I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. And I hope that you have some crafting to keep you busy this evening and keep you happy. I will, Luna is starting to ask for her dinner, so I better wrap this up. I will see you tomorrow, and happy stitching. Take care, everybody.